Obamacare isn't popular with the vast majority of Americans. It's been that way for years. But you know it's bad when even congressional Democrats are starting to question the law. Best of the Web columnist James Taranto joins me now. James, what are the problems that liberals have finally figured out about Obamacare?
Well, the Senate Finance Committee held hearings last week, and at least 4 Democratic members of this committee raised various problems with, as they put it, the implementation of Obamacare. So it's everything from the IRS and Social Security Administration has outdated computers that can't handle the demands this law places on them, to the administration is postponing the implementation of a program called the Basic Health Program. There's an IRS ruling that is going to result in some people losing their family coverage from their employers. The whole thing is just a mess. They're saying it's because of the way the administration is implementing the law. But
not just because of inherent problems that the law itself creates.
Well, let's take, for example, the IRS ruling that I mentioned. I think you have a quote from Senator Wyden.
Let's put that up on screen. So we've got millions, I'll just read this for viewers out there. We've got millions of people, working class, middle class people, who are going to be pushed into a regulatory health coverage no man's land.
Right. Now, this is because the way the IRS has interpreted a section in the law having to do with the tax treatment of employer-provided insurance. Remember, President Obama said, oh, if you like your current insurance plan, you'll get to keep it. That's turned out to be a false promise. Well, okay. So Wyden doesn't like the way the IRS interpreted this, but this is a law that Congress passed that gave enormous discretion to administrative agencies like the IRS and the Department of Health and Human Services and any number of others. If Congress is delegating this authority, the administration has to make these decisions.
And he voted for the law.
Well, not only that, but any one of these senators who's complaining could have prevented this whole fiasco, because they needed 60 senators to bring the vote to the floor. There were exactly 60 Democrats. The vote was 60-40. This was on Christmas Eve 2009. Any one of these guys could have blocked it. So, you know, it's a little ridiculous for them to be complaining about it now.
Well, let's be charitable and say that they didn't anticipate all of these problems. What are they proposing to do about them?
Well, wait, why is that being charitable to say they didn't anticipate all these problems? They passed this law. They imposed it on the country. It didn't occur to them that a 2,000-plus page law that nobody had read was going to have problems. So I'm not going to let them off the hook that easily. What they would like, I guess, is for the administration to implement it differently. But some of these problems are just intractable, such as the problem with the computers. And of course, making changes in the law is going to be difficult because the Republicans now control the House. Republicans don't really want this law to work better. So they're kind of stuck with this white elephant.
Well, you know, there is a lot of discontent across America with this law, very low level of support. It's not true that the longer we lived with it, the more we would like it. Can Republicans use this dissatisfaction to push for reform?
Well, probably not for the next 4 years, because I don't think President Obama is going to sign any law that would be to the Republicans' liking. I suppose that they could use the leverage created by the necessity to make certain marginal changes to get other marginal changes along the lines that they'd want. So perhaps we'll see some trading like that out of sheer necessity, the way we've seen with some of the tax and fiscal issues.
Okay, well, we'll have to leave it at that. Best of the Web columnist James Taranto. Obamacare has problems. Who knew?